Hello everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe to this channel. Thomas Jefferson, the third leader of the U.S. and the chief creator of the announcement of freedom, is quite possibly the most powerful figure in American history. His commitments to the establishing of the country, his part in molding American standards, and his heritage as a legislator and savant have left an enduring effect. This article investigates Jefferson's initial life, his significant job in American freedom, his administration, and his getting through heritage. Early life. Thomas Jefferson was brought into the world on April 13, 1743, in Shadwell, Virginia, into a well-off and unmistakable family. His dad, Peter Jefferson, was an effective grower and assessor, while his mom, Jane Randolph Jefferson, came from a deep-rooted Virginia family. Jefferson experienced childhood on the family manor, Monticello, and got an old-style instruction from private mentors. Jefferson's schooling went on at the School of William and Mary, where he concentrated on an expansive scope of subjects, including reasoning, science, and regulation. His scholarly interest and commitment with Illumination thoughts altogether affected his future reasoning and political way of thinking. Jefferson was especially roused by crafted by John Locke and other edification scholars, whose thoughts regarding freedom, a vote-based system, and government would later shape his commitments to American freedom. Job in American freedom. In 1776, Jefferson assumed an essential part in the American unrest as the chief creator of the Statement of Freedom. At 33 years old, he was chosen by the mainland Congress to draft the report that would officially proclaim the American settlements' freedom from England. Jefferson's announcement enunciated the province's complaints against ruler George III and verbalized the crucial standards of basic freedoms and self-administration. The statement broadly declares that all men are made equivalent and are invested with unalienable privileges, including life, freedom, and the quest for joy. These standards turned into the groundwork of American majority rule system and a directing reference point for people in the future. The Statement of Freedom was taken on by the mainland Congress on July 4, 1776, denoting a crucial crossroads in American history. Jefferson's expressive composition and obligation to the standards of opportunity and equity reverberated profoundly with the American public and assumed a huge part in stirring help for the progressive reason. The upset and early political vocation. During the American Progressive Conflict, Jefferson filled in as a representative to the mainland Congress and was an individual from the Virginia Council. He dealt with different boards of trustees and was instrumental in drafting regulation to help the conflict exertion. In 1781, Jefferson was named legislative leader of Virginia, where he confronted various difficulties, including dealing with the state's assets and answering English attacks. His residency as lead representative was set apart by the two triumphs and hardships, including his analysis for his treatment of the state's safeguard during the English attack. After the conflict, Jefferson kept on affecting American governmental issues and strategy. He was selected as the U.S. clergyman to France from 1785 to 1789, where he noticed the French upset and reinforced American political binds with France. His time in France expanded his point of view and developed his obligation to conservative goals and worldwide strategy. Administration and approaches. In 1800, Thomas Jefferson was chosen the third leader of the U.S., overcoming occupant President John Adams. His political decision denoted a critical change in American governmental issues, as it addressed the primary serene exchange of force between ideological groups, a demonstration of the security and flexibility of the American popularity-based framework. One of Jefferson's most striking accomplishments as president was the Louisiana Buy in 1803. This obtaining of an area from France successfully multiplied the size of the U.S. and opened tremendous new terrains for investigation and settlement. Jefferson, albeit at first worried about the defendability of the buy, eventually considered it to be a chance to extend the country and advance its development. Jefferson's organization likewise administered the Lewis and Clark Endeavor, 1804 to 1806, which investigated and planned the recently obtained Western domains. The campaign, drove by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, gave important data about the geology, verdure, fauna, and local people groups of the area, adding to the country's toward the west extension. Homegrown strategies and difficulties. Jefferson's administration was set apart by endeavors to pay off the public obligation, limit the size of the central government, and advance agrarianism. He sought after strategies that leaned toward states' privileges and individual freedoms, mirroring his confidence in a restricted focal government. One of the difficulties of Jefferson's administration was overseeing unfamiliar relations, especially with England and France. The Band Demonstration of 1807, which intended to safeguard American interests by restricting exchange with far-off countries, was a dubious and monetarily harming measure. The demonstration prompted financial difficulty and was reprimanded for its effect on American dealers and the economy. The establishing of the College of Virginia. After his administration, Jefferson resigned to his adored Monticello, where he kept on taking part in scholarly pursuits and public assistance. One of his most huge post-official accomplishments was the establishing of the College of Virginia in 1819. Jefferson imagined the college as an establishment that would advance advanced education and scholarly improvement liberated from strict or political impact. Jefferson planned the college's grounds and educational plan, underscoring the significance of expansive and extensive instruction. The College of Virginia staged a demonstration of his obligation to schooling and his confidence in the significance of supporting an educated and edified populace. Servitude and logical inconsistencies. Jefferson's inheritance is intricate and incorporates logical inconsistencies that keep on inciting conversation and discussion. While he supported the standards of freedom and fairness, he was likewise a slave owner, and his perspectives on servitude were frequently conflicting with his public assertions on basic liberties. Jefferson's relationship with servitude is a subject of huge verifiable investigation. Despite the fact that he communicated moral and philosophical worries about bondage, he didn't make significant moves to resolve the issue during his lifetime. His responsibility for people and his inability to free them during his lifetime uncover a significant inconsistency between his goals and practices. Thomas Jefferson's effect on American history is significant and diverse. As a main figure in the American upset and the chief creator of the Statement of Freedom, he assumed a critical part in forming the country's primary standards. His administration was set apart by critical accomplishments, including the Louisiana Buy and the development of American domain. Jefferson's inheritance is portrayed by his commitments to vote-based standards, instruction, and scholarly idea. In any case, it is likewise set apart by the logical inconsistencies and difficulties of his time, especially in regards to subjugation. In spite of these intricacies, Jefferson's impact on the arrangement and improvement of the U.S. stays a focal and persevering through part of American history. His life and work keep on being considered and discussed, mirroring the continuous battle to accommodate the goals of opportunity and correspondence with the real factors of authentic practices. Thomas Jefferson's heritage, to his commitments and his inconsistencies, fills in as a sign of the intricacies of history and the getting through quest for a more wonderful association. Thank you for watching.